come to our session? Will it be empty? And actually, such a brilliant turnout. So thank you all for making the right choice, obviously. You are in for a treat, and hopefully you'll be challenged by the things that you hear. I'm not going to give you an introduction into the circular economy. You should be well versed on that by now. There have been lots of sessions. The point of this session is to look at the question specifically from an Africa standpoint. So we're very delighted to our hosts, both from the Finnish government and to Sitra, for making this session possible. I have long reported on international development issues and environment for The Guardian and CNN and various people, and the question of how does Africa leapfrog in terms of its economic model so that we're not making the same mistakes that we see the West has made. How do we facilitate that given the context of power imbalances? Let's be real about that. So hopefully our speakers will speak to all these issues. But first, for your participation, it is just worthwhile for me to go through a little housekeeping with you. So a show of hands for who has that. To you, Edgar, please, as a young entrepreneur, how would you answer that question about the opportunities you see?
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Edgar Edmund, founder of Green Venture, which is a local recycling company in Tanzania. So I started the company 3 years ago after seeing the need of reducing plastic waste, and at the same time I saw a big opportunity because most of the people cannot afford construction. So I really thought using plastics as a mode of construction would really be a good opportunity. So after coming up with an idea where we convert our plastic waste into building materials, so we make bricks from plastic waste. So we have over 100 people who work for collection. So we have different collection points, and we pay people who collect these plastics per kg, then transform them into building blocks, which are used by construction companies. So among the major challenges that we have faced, coming up with the idea when I was just 15, first of all, it would be very difficult to finance the construction of the machines and everything. Regarding at the age of 15, you can't just go to a bank and take a loan and do all of that. So that was a very big challenge to me, but despite that, it didn't stop me. And I always knew there's, if this business becomes successful, also the environment is going to be cleaner because people are going to be incentivized to collect plastic waste. And the other thing that we are working on is making sure that we diversify in the products that we are making. So apart from bricks, we are also moving into plastic lumber, which we're going to create plastic lumber, which is going to replace wood. So instead of people cutting down trees, plastic is going to help people in making furniture from plastics.
Awesome. I think when you said what age you started at, I could almost hear the cogs in everyone's mind doing the math as to how old you are now. It is, and also perhaps feeling a little curious about what they were doing at 15. But one more questions than we will have time to take. It's very good to see. So I'm going to start to incorporate some of these. Jason Horling was asking about how can creativity of African entrepreneurs, innovators, and young people be better supported? And I can't think of anyone better to answer that question. So how could you have been better supported? How well did that go in practice, and how could it go differently?
Yeah, so the first important thing is for people, most of the youth in Africa, they have a brilliant idea, but most of the people tend to think, when is the right time for me to act? So with me, I thought you really need to act as soon as possible, as urgent as the problem is, because the more you wait, the bigger the problem it becomes. And ways that young people in Africa can be supported with these ideas, first of all, is the platforms for them to present what they have, because always, if it's not presented, then it's difficult even for people who want to support to see it. So I think platforms and media coverage is very important, because it will enable more people to see what young people are doing, and also in terms of funding. So I think maybe the different institutions in Africa should organize specific funds that can enable young innovators to scale up their ideas. And this is because most of the institutions don't tend to, especially financial institutions, don't tend to have belief in young entrepreneurs. Because I was able to start a business and it's running till now, and I didn't even, haven't yet graduated from high school. So it shows how viable is it to believe in young people. And I don't think age is really a factor to believe in young entrepreneurs.
As you're talking, I'm thinking about the importance of intellectual property protection and how often you're likely to be snapped up very quickly by a Harvard or an Oxford, and your intellectual property becomes theirs, and how much we need young people like you with your ideas on the continent. There's a question here about how can a company present a circularity where the policies that we're making aren't so much short-termist, but can think about the end-to-end, and we have the bargaining power to put those demands in place. Were you going to say something to that?
Yeah, so I think also companies should be responsible for products that they produce. So most of the companies that manufacture, I can speak for, let's say, plastics products, they should be responsible to either work with companies that recycle their waste, because it's their responsibility to make sure the environment is not threatened by the products they create, instead of just leaving the whole responsibility to the end people that recycle the waste. And with policies, I think also, especially with plastic pollution, should be a collective thing. I don't think it's a work for individual countries. So let's say countries like the country I come from, Tanzania, has banned the use of plastic bags. If the neighboring countries still are in use of the plastic bags, and you can say the ocean is not restricted to certain countries, so plastics can still get into the ocean from another country and be moved anywhere around the world.
In fact, the chances that they come from quite far away, don't they?
So I think it should be a collective thing. We should speak as one and also unify the policies, because we all use the same earth. So I don't think it's an individual responsibility.
Well, while you have the floor, there's a question here from...
Well, I believe in order for us to attain a circular economy, the energy and the effort that we had put toward that has led to creation of the problem, we should be able to put a similar or even more energy in solving the problem. So to the amount of money that we invest in producing these products, I think a similar effort should be used in actually recycling the products in order to attain a circular economy. Other than that, I think it would be difficult to attain circular economy. And also, I think in the African perspective, I think local investments are very important for attaining circular economy in Africa, meaning it's important for even private and public companies within the specific countries to invest in their countries to enable circular economy without only waiting for external investment in the circular economy.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's been
countercultural. We have inverted all the stereotypes, and all Africa panel talking about Africa. African ministers who finished before Finnish delegates, 2 minutes 20 over there. I think we have rewritten all the rules today about how panels work. Thank you for staying to the end. Please remember that our panelists are here in a room outside, prepared to discuss with you further. Enjoy the rest of your summit. Remember that Africa is in the circular economy game, so involve us. Thank you.